Hello, welcome to the Sport Ride. My name is Kizzy K. Let's talk about sports starting from the home soil. And we take it back to the Ivory Coast game coming up, talk about the tournament back, from 23-24. We keep moving now. So 22 players are now in the Super Eagles camp ahead of the Super Eagles team. Talk about World Cup qualifying against Lesotho and Zimbabwe. 6 players reported to the team, 4-point hotel base on Monday. They have now been joined by 16 other players to the assignment of the head coach, Joseph Pesaro. Better Insurance goalkeeper is the latest. Amaz Obasoji, a late replacement for the injured Madiko Koye, is the only player yet to arrive the camp. The Super Eagles have their first training session at the practice pitch of the Gosula Kwame International Stadium. Yesterday, now the session was held behind closed doors. The Nigerian scheduled to face Lesotho on November 16 at the Goswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, before traveling to face Zimbabwe at the Hoye Stadium, Boche, on November 19th. Moving on, the Goswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State is set to host the Group C 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier between Nigeria Super Eagles and Lesotho. The match day one clash is built for Thursday, 16 November 23. In their last 23 AFCON qualifiers, Super Eagles hosted Sao Tome and Principe in Uyo and recorded a resounding 6-0 win. Come Thursday, the winners entertain Lesotho, and with what's on ground, Nigeria should expect a good outing from Joseph Pesaro's side as usual. In the pitch also is lush green and a peak condition, which should suit the Super Eagles players. The groundmen also were seen laying the white lines on the pitch, while technical personnel were putting finishing touches to their equipment. And that's the news for the national team. Talk about the Nigerian Super Eagles who will play against Zimbabwe and Lesotho come for the 26th FIFA World Cup qualifying game. Next on now, let's talk about the Luquena of Lesotho have settled down in Uyo ahead of their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying game against host Nigeria. The players and the officials landed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport on Monday evening before taking up our flight, in Uyo on Tuesday. The Luquena are lodged in the Ibom Icon Hotel name and also a golf resort. Lesser North charges will have their first training session later this evening. They have also a field of the Gosula International Stadium, Uyo, venue of the game on Wednesday. Thursday encounter will kick off at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Lesotho will also host the Square of Benin Republic in a match day 2 feature of the Moses Babeda Stadium next week, and that's on Tuesday. Now, away from that one, talk about female football. Aziza Toshola is running for an historical 6th African Women Football of the Year award. The Barcelona Feminine Star, top of the list, 30 players shortlisted for the award by the Confederation of African Football, CAF. CAF announced a list of nominees on their official X handle on Tuesday. Oshola Aziza won the award last year for a record 5th time. She is the only African female footballer to have achieved this feat. Moving on, the 29-year-old previously won the prestigious award in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2022, respectively. Oshola won the UEFA Women's Championship League crown 8 Barcelona last season for a second time. The striker also had a decent outing for Nigeria at the 23 FIFA Women's World Cup, co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. She scored once in the 4 appearances for Nigeria at the tournament. Her compatriot Rashida Lajiba, the Chemakan Nandozi Osinacho Hali, are also in contention for the individual accolade. Crystal Uchebi, Tony Payne, Uchenna Kanu are also other players involved who are nominated. It will be recalled that the CAF released the different categories of the men award 2 weeks ago. Napoli hitman Victor Osimhen is up for the men's Player of the Year award, while Gift Urban is also in contention for the Young Player of the Year award. The 23 CAF Award Gala night will be held in Marrakesh, Morocco on Monday, November 11, 2023. Moving on now, Nigerian throw Oluwatosin Deminhin, Deborah Abiodo, and Esther Ajakaye has been nominated for the 23 CAF Young Player of the Year. Deminhin and Abiodo was part of the Super Falcons squad to the 23 FIFA Women's World Cup, co-hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Centre-back Deminhin played in all of Nigerian 4 games at the competition. The 21-year-old also paired with Osinacho Hali at the heart of Nigerian defense. The State Rams player once represented Nigeria at the under-20 level, and demonstrative midfielder Abiodo was also surprised inclusion in the Nigerian squad to the World Cup. The 20-year-old started the Super Falcons' first game against Canada. Abiodo also was sent off in the stoppage time, but earned applauded for her impressive display in the game. She also has been in fine form for American side Pete women this season. And Jakai also started for Nigeria at the 2022 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. The young striker is currently part of Nigeria Under-20 side. Talk about the Super Falcons. Being the manager is Dan Juma, and that's just what it is. So hopefully we get to know who comes to clinch on this one. But Aziza Oshola has been out there, and everybody gets to know how big this lady can be when it comes to awards are taken off from a Nigerian 5 times counting, and maybe she just might make it 6 this time around. But quickly away from that, come with me, let's talk about tennis. where Stefano Tsitsipas is set to quit the ATP final on Tuesday after retiring from his match with Holger Rune early in the first set. Six-seeded took about Stefano Tsitsipas was trailing 2-1 to Rune when he was forced to quit the green group match, handling the final chance. In his first ever win in the season and the tournament, the Greek is also now almost set into withdrawal, meaning Hubert Hurkacz will step in to play his final match against Novak Djokovic with no place of progressing to the semi-final following two defeats. Stefano Tsitsipas also insisted that there was nothing wrong with him physically after Sunday's straight-set defeat to Jannik Sinner, playing down reports of an elbow injury which curtailed practice ahead of the tournament opener. Moving on, Jannik Sinner edged towards becoming the first ever Italian to reach the last four ATP final on Tuesday after a trailing 7-5, 6-7, 7-6 win over Novak Djokovic. World number 4, Jannik Sinner needed just a straight-set victory in the front of enthusiastic home support in Turin in Italy over tennis icon Djokovic to guarantee a passage from the green group with a match to spare. Moving on, and while the 22-year-old couldn't quit, make that happen, a superb, was trying to make sure everything gets to go. It was not quite, making that happen. A superb performance gave him his first win in 4 attempts over Novak Djokovic, who is beating to, win for a record 7 times out of the year-ending tournament. Moving on, fans made an almighty Dane for Sinner, chanting his name for the Rafael once he claimed victory in an exciting 3-hour contest, which ran away past midnight at the Pala Ipo. And that's for the news. I should say congratulations to Jannik Sinner. Getting the result right against Novak Djokovic is very big, and that's all the time. We want to see young lads come to get to clinch more on of these and, get yourself out there and be on the record list. But quickly, just jump onto the next one where I got this one. I'll talk about Formula One. Ross Brown was sipping a resurgent McLaren to take the fight to dominant Red Bull and triple world champion Max Verstappen this season, and that's for next season. Moving on, Brown knows all about Formula One domination, having worked with Michael Schumacher through a golden period of Ferrari and then winning titles and his own eponymous team in 2009 before getting Mercedes started on the ground on the road to unprecedented success. Speaking ahead of the British launch on Wednesday for Past TV's Brown, launched as on Wednesday, that was a very, very timely possible Formula One story on Disney, where the 68-year-old former Formula One managing director and ex-Ferrari technical director says McLaren has a team to watch. Brayton Lando Norris has finished second 6 times in the 20 races, while Australian rookie teammate Oscar Piastri won the Qatar Saturday sprint and finished second to Verstappen in the Sunday Grand Prix with Norris third. After failing to score in the first 2 races of the campaign, McLaren have staged an impressive recovery and are now 4th overall. Brown was optimistic Ferrari would improve on Fred Vassell's Guardians, but recognized Red Bull would not be standing still and had the added benefit of being able to switch attention early to the next year car. Now, Red Bull have also so far won 19 of 20 races, with Max Verstappen triumphant 17 times, a record for a single season that can extend in Las Vegas this weekend. And teammate Sergio Perez has also got twice. Just away from that Formula One story, anytime, any day, you could talk about this man. He is the man for the people, the Dutch man, the Orange man, the Netherlands, the Holland, whichever would do when you call him. His name is, Max Verstappen. I think it's sung all of the time, and I'm not surprised, his name would not leave my mouth anytime soon. Now, let's talk about this one. In Italy, reports say Nicolo Fagioli extended on Tuesday his Juventus contract until 2026 as the Italian international sits out of 7 months ban for gambling offenses. Juventus delighted to announce that Nicolo Fagioli contract has been renewed until June 30th, 2028. The Serie A club said in a statement, Juve youth product Fagioli, who will reportedly earn 1.5 million a season, was suspended in October for gambling on football matches after agreeing a plea bargain with the Italian Football Federation Disciplinary Tribunal. Moving on, Italian media report that Fagioli ran up 3 million euros of debt from gambling on illegal platforms, a crime for which he also have to answer in the criminal court, most likely with a fine. His suspension came as a gambling scandal looked to be sweeping through the Italian football, although he promised wave of revelation from the disgraced former paparazzo Fabrizio Corona, who has helped to materialize Newcastle United midfielder Sandro Tonali, was subsequently banned for 10 months for betting, including on matches involved in his former teammate. Talk about AC Milan, that's his team. So it's about bet scandal right there. It looks to be very, very deep in Italy. Fagioli in the news, Sandro Tonali in the news, all Italian international. That's a bad one to say. Well, quickly on this one now, next on Olivier Giroud has been banned for 2 games for aiming a volley of abuse at official at the end of AC Milan dramatic and controversial 2-2 draw at Lecce Serie A side on Tuesday. France striker Giroud was dismissed in stoppage time at the Stadio Del Mare on Saturday afternoon after aiming abusive expression at the referee Rosario Abiso following an initial booking dissent. Giroud, 2018 World Cup winner, he has scored 8 goals this season, was then shown a straight red card and will now miss home matches against Fiorentina and Frosinone after the international break. Abiso also was the center of the controversy after Lecce were denied the stunning comeback from 2 goals down when shortly after Olivier Giroud sending off Roberto Piccoli found home what looked like being an incredible winner from distance. However, the strike was shackled off by Piccoli standing on Malik Chow foot before receiving the ball. That decision sparkled fury in the previously derisive stand and enraged club president Stefano Sticci, Damiani, as well as Lecce players and training staff. Stefano Sticci, Damiani has been banned until 4 December for an intimidatory behavior towards match officials and threatening them in the dressing rooms after the match. He then allowed the compromise, and the compromise, that's one is conspiracy, when he accused Abiso and the VAR official of splitting hairs to find a way rule out of the goal. The club's sporting director Stefano Cera was also banned for 3 matches and fined €10,000 for similar offence aggravated by blasphemy, while CEO Sandro Mecose will also be suspended until 27 November, being saved from defeat later by Milan. However, as Stefano Pioli's side fell 8 points behind league leaders and local rivals Inter Milan. Looks like a story is really going on, and it's been funny to see in Italy. A whole lot is really happening in the world of Italian football, I could say. Let's get on this one now, where we see former Super Eagles captain Mikel has a kill scarf of denying him the chance of winning the 2013 African Cup of Nations, African Cup Award of the Year. 2013, where we did see the Super Eagles winning that, the Nations Cup of blessed memory under the manager, the gaffer at that point was Stephen Keshi. Now, in a chat with OB1 podcast, the former Chelsea star stated that he was robbed of the prestigious award. The 36-year-old explained that unlike Yaya Toure, who won nothing, he won 3 tournaments but lost the African award. The former Chelsea midfielder played a major role in the Blues winning the UEFA Europa League as well as Nigeria winning the African Cup of Nations AFCON. Back in 2013, it was a trophy called the CAF Award to be won. I won the African Cup of Nations. I won the Champions League that year before the Europa the next 20. Okay, no, he won the Champions League 2012. Then come the Europa was 2013. I remember Chelsea did that. Mikel was in that team. The likes of Van Mata, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, all of those guys. I would not forget his goal in a hurry against Bayern Munich. Didier Drogba with a header. And Yaya Toure only won. He didn't win anything. And coming to the ceremony, I thought I was winning the information. I thought I was winning. The information was that I was going to win. I was told by CAF I was going to win it, Mikel Obi said. Mikel began his career with local club Plateau United before joining Norwegian club side Lyn at the age of 17 in 2004 and 2006. And also in 2006, he made a controversial transfer to English club Chelsea after Manchester United claimed they had already signed him. If you hear this, a whole lot of people want to say Mikel Obi wants to be in the news. I know about the Obi podcast one, where he talks a lot about himself and also every other sporting football news. That simply he advised, Victor Osimhen to also come to Chelsea and say we need a player like you. Ever since Didier Drogba left, we've not seen a player who can replace the Ivorian international. So Obi Mikel is being furious, not really happy about the fact that he lost that. But what's my opinion? I have an opinion on this. Let me say it again, and I will say that again. I felt also my opinion, right? I thought Mikel should have won it in 2013. I remember P Square was the way the artist who made the show, and when it was announced that Mikel was not winning it, I remember the artist left the state. The event right there, and it happened in Lagos, in Nigeria to be exact. So it wasn't really a good one, but I think that's just like a medicine after death. I don't really think it's necessary anymore because nothing changes the fact that Yaya Toure has been crowned the champion, crowned the award of African best at that point, and now Mikel Obi happens to never win that award. I understand how painful it is, but maybe you need to ask JJ Okocha how bad that has been. But I need to go now. Don't forget again, international break is on now. It's very much on, and also club-style football will be on hold. Every other football, top-flight football, will be on hold while the other small leagues continue to play. International break, don't miss out, get glued to your TV. Some clubs, some countryside have already qualified, but taking it back to Nigeria, where we'll play against Lesotho and then against Zimbabwe. But quickly, let me let you know what's really going on right there in the Eagles camp. It's been a good news to see that players are returning back to camp. And Joseph Pesaro has got all he needs this time around. No disrespect to, Pesaro, but I don't know how he's going to play now without Victor Osimhen, because I understand the team. I wouldn't say the team is built around Osimhen, but Osimhen is not on the list of guys who would be making that way. But then we've got all the takes. Don't forget also Victor Boniface, who also been firing all cylinders for Bayer Leverkusen. And also another inclusion that looks very surprising is the fact that Okoye Maduka left the training. I mean, he was pulled out for injury. And it's good to see Brendan Sherman's man, Obasoge, that's the name, making way for himself. This is like the second time we are going to be having two MPFL players in the team, like goalkeepers. The last time we did have was Sochima. I recall Sochima in the list then. But this time around, Olorunleke Ojo is also there. And then this very, very Obasoje. Many people in Benin exact are really craving to say this man is what being the number one, a good goalkeeper at the time. When I watch Medellin Insurance at the women, some of the women stadium right in Benin City, I would say he's just a good man. Now, some of the questions right now the media will be saying, some of the questions the street will be saying is the fact that, do you really think he is worth starting, regardless of Ozoho not doing so well? And Pesaro still insists that Ozoho is the number one. So I don't know the confidence the manager is trying to instill on the Cyprus man. Talk about Francis Ozoho, who for me maybe should have not been called up. But even if at all you want to call him to the list, maybe he should play his second fiddle. But then sometimes managers are right when they make decisions. So maybe you just might see Francis Ozoho. But then, like I said before, the people from the south side of Nigeria, I could also say maybe from general part of the Nigerian side, are really craving to see maybe Obasoje, who got a first call up to the national team, get a start. But if he starts, then that would be a welcome development for the MPFL side. Don't forget, it's the 26th FIFA World Cup, and that's a very big game. Zimbabwe, Lesotho, both games coming up shortly, and I'll keep you updated on just how it goes. But then Pesaro as well, I wish him all the best. Not long it took, and he took a pay cut and said, I want to be here. Also, an ultimatum was, if you lose this game, you would lose your job. And he has won the game, so the NFF has given him that benefit of a doubt, which for me would do. Let's see how he gets to play in Ivory Coast. But meanwhile, take Nigeria to the World Cup. That will also give you an edge, to remain as the gaffer of the Super Eagles. Let me say this all the time. The front line is scary. The likes of Terry Murphy, the likes of Victor Boniface, the likes of Sedeko Maro, who got to join the team. All of these guys are a great team to go and ready to play that very game. I could say that again. I wish the Super Eagles success, the best in the game to come. Talk about the World Cup 26 qualifying game coming up, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, respectively. But it's on this note that I would have to sign out now. More interesting program, like I love to say, coming up. You don't change it. It is Voice of the People TV, and my name is Kizzy K. Peace out.